Here are the horoscopes for the week of the 21st to the 27th of September 2015. Now, we experience the autumn equinox this week, which is a 3-day event. So the sun passes from Virgo into Libra. On Monday we have the first day, where it's a really good time to release, to let go of anything that we're not taking into the darker months, because equinox means equal night. So this is when the daylight and the nighttime hours are balanced, and we're entering the sign of Libra, which is all about balance. So to prepare for that, we need to first release anything that we want to let go of. Bearing in mind we've had Saturn in Scorpio just turned into Sagittarius, there's plenty of releasing to do, because we need to know that we can let go of that phase now. It's not going to keep returning. And we've also had some very interesting and quite difficult energy over the summer. So maybe take some time on Monday to sum up everything that's gone on, to let go of any tension or any retention, and to release yourself from past patterns. If you've learnt the message, you can take forward the seed of awareness. You don't have to drag forwards all of the baggage. So to realise that things have come to an end, that we've experienced a 2.5-year phase with Saturn, we've experienced quite a tough 4 months since the Scorpio full moon, to be able to release those patterns now rather than hold them in fear that they'll return or run away or repress. So a really big releasing energy on Monday in order that we can find balance. So by Tuesday it's time to purify. Everything that we've released has given us a state of happy emptiness, like the held breath. We can just hold that balance on Tuesday. Symbolically, our hearts are weighed against a feather at the time of the autumn equinox. Just like when the soul was passing into the underworld, we're passing into the yearly underworld at this period. So it's about being light-hearted, because we've let go of any heaviness. We're not carrying that forward. We're in our own judgment as to whether we can pass into the other world. So on the yearly calendar, this is that journey, the journey of Ma'at, the balancing of the heart against the feather. Are we ready to go within? Are we empty? Are we potent in order to be able to make the most of our journey through the winter from Libra to Aries, to explore the inner worlds and to find great knowledge? So by Wednesday the sun enters Libra, and this is the sign of balance and calibration, the balance of night and day, the balance of light and dark, the balance of heavy and light, the balance of masculine and feminine, the balance of outer and inner. So in order to be able to be radiant and self-lit as we go into the Hermetic months, into those darker explorations, we need to find that balance. So when the sun goes into Libra, this is day 3 of the autumn equinox. We're reborn, we're treading a new journey, an inwards journey. As we go into the winter months, as we go into our own inner winter, we need to know that we've found that balance so that we can flow and radiate. Then by Friday we have Pluto turning direct in Capricorn. This means that Pluto spent most of the week stationary. It takes a long time for Pluto to turn direct, because it's a very far away and a very heavyweight planet, and therefore it takes a lot longer to do anything. So the whole week is kind of dominated by Pluto being stationary, turning direct in Capricorn, and slowly through next week we'll start to feel that direct motion. And we're building upon strong foundations now, because when Pluto's retrograde, it's all about deconstruction. And it's roughly a 5-month phase, so we're looking back over the last 5 months to see where we've deconstructed, to see where we've broken down false beliefs or false plans or false goals that weren't going to support us into the future. And now as Pluto starts to go direct, we're building on solid ground. We may feel that we're stripped back to the core or to the basics, but we can certainly now, whatever we build, we're building on solid ground. And having had the recent Venus retrograde in Leo, we're building from the heart. So whatever we do create, it will be more appropriate and more golden and more heartfelt. Then by the weekend we've got Mars into Virgo. This is a 2-year event, as in it only happens every 2 years. So Mars going into Virgo is a very catalytic, dynamic energy, because Mars is our warrior, soul warrior, force energy directed, and Virgo is the super producer that knows what to do when in order to get the bigger results. So our inner harvest is doing the right thing at the right time, being conscious and putting our energy into something that's building to something worthwhile, to our own harvest. So Mars entering Virgo there for about 8 weeks. It's a once in a 2-year opportunity to see where we're putting our soul energy, our passion, our dynamism, and to direct that with some purpose and some structure so that we can achieve on every level, mental, physical, emotional and spiritual. So a lovely week, very big energy, nothing too challenging if we can go with it day by day. So Monday release, we're releasing everything from the spring equinox to the autumn equinox. It's been a very intense summer, but we need to be light in order to enter a state of purity on Tuesday, and simplicity, where we can weigh ourselves, we can be kind but judge ourselves on how well we've done and calibrate where our energy may still be out of balance to create coherence. By Wednesday we're then in a radiant aspect, we're reborn, self-lit, and we have our inner light to guide us through the winter. And then by Friday we're building something now on strong foundations. But by the weekend, when Mars goes into Virgo, we can actually put those plans into place. So everything's unfolding this week, but one note would be to say, remember that Mercury is retrograde. So this means to keep a loose diary, to keep a loose approach, sense of humour, if you will, because all these plans that we want to put forwards, they may not go quite the way we expect them to, but there's always a lesson to be learnt there. So it's not to say stop and don't do anything, but it's very much have a loose plan going forwards and keep an eye on anything that happens differently. So it can be travel, communication, thought processes, because these are all relevant. So Mercury retrograde in Libra at the time of the autumn equinox is the very thing that's going to show us if there's anything out of alignment, if we're pushing too hard rather than being receptive and patient, if we are acting from the masculine electric rather than receiving on the feminine magnetic, and if our goals are actually aligned to our higher purpose. So very beautiful Mercury retrograde there. There's lots to learn, and that will be direct by the 10th of October. So although we feel like we're going forwards, we're doing this release, purify, radiate ritual over the autumn equinox, and we've got that Pluto energy saying it's okay to start building now, and we've got Mars saying no way, you're putting your dynamic soul force energy. We've still got a couple of weeks to say, but look at the details, look at how you're thinking, look at how you're communicating, or what's being communicated to you, because there will still be messages in there on how to achieve this balance, so that by the second, third week of October we are really more conscious and aligned and aware. We've had a mirror held up to us to show us what's going on the inside, as usual, with the subconscious. That's what these planets are showing us, and what the situations that we draw to us are showing us. If anything's out of calibration on the outside, it's because it's a message, and you can go in and calibrate that on the inside. So just a note there to say, although everything seems to be pushing forwards by the end of the week, be aware to monitor your thought processes and your flow in order that you can make the most of the Mercury retrograde in Libra over this period. And then by October, that's the real stepping forwards in freshness, in newness, reborn, rebalanced into the winter months to make the most of our next cycle. So those are the horoscopes this week, and I'll see you next week. This week very much has that back to school feel towards it, so just a reminder that I do have some courses. If the nights are drawing in and you'd like to turn your dynamic energy to learn something of lasting value, then please do come and talk to me about my courses, there's a whole year-long course on how you can engage with your own intuitive astrology, or some short modules if you'd like to just dip your toe in the water. I'm also available for one-to-one readings, and I do tend to teach as I do the reading, so for anybody that wants to just get to know their chart first on a very personal level, we can have a reading, and I always give you some videos to carry on learning. So that's quite a good way to engage with this energy as well. So my readings are available over Skype, and all of my courses are online with videos and notes. So wherever you are in the world, this is a good opportunity to start engaging with astrology, which is something that you can learn over the winter months and re-emerge in the springtime with more awareness. So please do contact me, zoehines7@gmail.com.